Okay, hello everyone and welcome to the video. In this one I'm going to be showing you how you can use the VLookup formula in Excel to create customized reports and do it in a semi-automated way. So if you want to create a report that you cannot automatically create from the software you're using, say to do your accounting or your bookkeeping, you want to dump the data out to Excel and present things in a certain way because that's how you want to see it, or that's how you need to report for your department or to your manager or whatever it may be. So what you can do is you can create a customized report, a layout in Excel such as the following here. So let's just say, for the sake of this example, we want to group our expenses by certain types of expenses. So I've got here Group A, Group B, but it could be anything. It's just that we want to have certain line items shown in a certain way. So let's say in the Group A category of expenses, we've got bank charges, postage and freight and printing. And in Group B, we've got interest expense, travel and accommodation, and software. But this could be anything. So what we're doing here, we've got really you'd have two tabs here. In this example, you've got your main reporting tab here, and you've got your data tab. Of course, when you export your data from the system you're using, the data that you're going to use to feed into your customized report, that's going to come out like this. So in this example, we're using a trial balance to create a kind of like a, not necessarily a profit and loss, but some kind of reporting on expenditure and sales. So what you would do, you'd run your report in the system that you're using. For this one, I've used Xero, and I've exported the trial balance into Excel, and I've got it here, Export 1. This would normally come out as a separate tab in a separate workbook. But what I've done for the sake of this example is just to include it as a tab in this same workbook, which you could do as well, but it's not necessary. So what you would do, you would set up your report how you want it to present, and this could be anything here. So if we didn't want to show printing here, but we wanted to show something else, we just go equals, go over to the data tab, which is a copy of the export that comes out from Xero in this case, but it could be any system. And if we wanted to have web hosting instead, we just click that, enter, and then there we've got web hosting is now in the Group A expenses. And if we wanted to add another item into Group B, we'd go equals, go over to the data tab here, and we would select whatever it needs to be. So let's say it's office supplies. And there you go. So what we're going to do now, we're in Xero, or whatever system you're using. You've exported the report to Excel. To Excel like so. And it's come out in a workbook like this. And then all we do here, we need to copy over the exported data over into the data tab, because the data tab is the page that the report is going to be drawing the information from. And that's what we've done. I've just gone and highlighted everything, copy, and then pasted it into here, into the data tab. Now, we set up a VLookup formula. So what the VLookup is going to do, it's going to look up these items here, and then it's going to hunt for it over in here in the data tab, and it's going to look for the dollar amount, and then it's going to return the value here. So we're going to go equals VLookup, open bracket, and then it sort of steps us through the formula here. So the lookup value is going to be bank charges, so we'll just click on that cell, comma, table array. So we're going to go into data, and we're going to highlight the items here. Now the way the VLookup works, it'll look up from the leftmost column. So we're going to do the lookup from because we're looking up from the name of the account, not the code of the account, we're going to highlight the table here. So really, you don't really need this column in here at all unless you're using this for your lookup value. So we're going to go comma, and now it goes column index number. So we highlighted this table here, and now we've got to select the column which it's going to look up from, or return the value from. And that's done in numerical numbers starting from the left-hand side. So we're looking up the table here, which is cell B5 to E41, so that's B to E. And we're looking at, we want these values here for the expenses. So it's the 1, 2, 3, third column from the left. So we can put a 3 in here, comma. And then we can say here, do we want it to be an approximate match or an exact match? We want it to be an exact match. So we're going to double click on that, false, close bracket, enter, there you go. And then what we should be able to do is we should be able to just drag this formula down and it should return the values here. So let's have a look. 1,005.54 cents, is that the web hosting number? So look for web hosting, 1,005.54. So it's done it, that's what we want. And then we can go here, click on here, go Control C to copy, or right click copy, highlight this, Control V to paste, or right click paste, and then it's picked up the figures here. So Office Works 330, sorry, Office Supplies 330.05, Office Supplies 330.05. Very good. Now let's say we want to put in some income items as well. So we'll say we want to show product B, and we want to show, well, let's just say we only want to show product B. So we're reporting on stuff that relates to product B, and then we're going to do the VLookup. So go equals, well, what about if I just copy this over? Let's just do this for an experiment. All right, we got an error. Okay, the reason we got the error here is because what I've done here, I didn't absolute these columns here. See, it's B5 to E41, and then you go down, and then it's B6. It's dragged the formula down. So what I should have done is clicked in here and go F4, and see the dollar signs come in. So it's going to lock the cells. F4, and the dollar signs come in, that means it's locking the cells. So if I now do this again, the numbers should stay the same. But then if you look at here, now it's saying B5 to E41 in all of them. Now if I go copy again, and up here, it's returned as 0. Now why has it returned no value at all? The reason for that is because it's looking up the third column here. And if we go into the data set here, we can see for the sales, because we're looking at column B to columns E, columns B to columns E, the expense section was looking up the third column, but for sales, we need to pick up the fourth column because it's over here in the credit section. So if I go back over to report, change this to 4 because we're looking at the fourth column, this should work. 5,100 for product B, let's have a look. Product B, 5,100, very good. So you work out what you want to show in your report and you put in your associated headings. You put in the VLookups, and then the good thing about this is when it comes to next month, you don't want to do all this all over again from scratch. What you do is you go in next month or next time you run the report, which will have different figures in it, you run the export and say that comes out as export 2. So now all we do is we copy, or select rather, the data set in the new export. We go Control C, and then we go back over to data, click in the top left cell of where you're copying from, Control V or paste, we can see now the numbers have changed. And if we go back over to report, we can see the numbers have changed. So product B is now 7,000, which came from export 2, whereas before it was 5,100 from export 1. And so on. Bank charges is now 50, whereas before it was 25.96. So it's as easy as that, guys. It is a little bit fiddly setting it up, but then once you've set it up, it is a really good way to just knock your reports out nice and quick whenever you have the new data coming through. So just to recap on that, if you're running a trial balance in your accounting software or whatever system it is, whatever figures you want to export and show in your customized report that you're going to create, you simply go export, put it into Excel, open it up, and then it's just a matter of copying it, copying the data that you want to copy over, and pasting it into your data cell here. And then it would flow through automatically into your reporting page. So you don't need to have the exports in this file at all. All you need in this file, in this workbook, is your report and your data. And then when you make the export, it would come through as a separate file here. You copy it, you paste it into data, and it would flow through automatically into your reporting page here. And of course you can pretty this up a little bit, format it out, get rid of the grid lines, put in color coding, group whatever you need to group, exclude whatever you need to exclude to get the reports that you need in a fully customized manner. So VLookups are very handy for that. So it becomes a very quick exercise of just exporting your data, copying it over, doing a couple of checks, and you're done. Anyway, that's it for the video, guys. I hope I helped out here. If you want to book in a training session, head over to the link in the description. We specialize in Excel, Xero, MyOb, and other accounting systems and office systems. Get in touch and we'll work out what it is you want training on, and we'll put together a little session that is fully tailored to your needs. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.